What is up? How are you guys doing tonight? It's just me, your guy, Sterls for the girls. It's Sterling in the house tonight, here to talk Bills with you guys. Now, you might be asking, where's Eric? Where's Anthony? Eric, unfortunately, man, my guy is sick. He has the Rona, okay? My guy Eric has the Rona, so keep him in your prayers and your thoughts. But Anthony's got some work stuff going on. So, when you're down 2 members of the Migos, you just got me, okay? And I don't even know what my Migos name is yet, but I'm going to think of one. Y'all can tell me what y'all want it to be in the comment section. But anyways, man, welcome to the Hoof podcast. Welcome to the Cover One Network. If you haven't already done so, like, follow, and subscribe to the Cover One Network. This is where we keep it popping all the time. The latest Bills news, content, fresh daily, all the time. We got guys here that grind. You're not going to find a better network. I'm just telling you that right now from top to bottom. Our roster is stacked. It's stacked out here. So, I got a lot, I said but no, I got a lot to talk to you guys about tonight, so we're just gonna chop it up here. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on the game. We don't have a game next week, so it's a bye week. So, our show format is going to be a little bit different this week. So, but I still got enough in store for you guys. So, with that being said, man, how about we do some shout outs real quick? Dilly Dale is in the house. He's talking about, he said they dressed Obata, hurt them in run defense. There was formation changes, constantly rest 4. Why not add 1 D lineman, help stop the run, the detour, the secondary, play the pass. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Rico Garyon, what's up, man? How you doing? He said that was a bad loss. Yeah, it was, man. It definitely was. It hurts a little bit. Lone Wolf was already talking with his chest, said Josh Allen didn't shine on the second last drive. Well, yeah, I mean, you can only do what you can do, man. And my guy Brian Bowers in the house. He said, oh, man, what was that? Some bullshit from our defense last night? Well, Derrick Henry's the best back in the league. I don't know what to tell you guys, man. It was just his night. He had a good game. And then Reptile's in here. What's going on, my G? So, anyways, man, welcome to the Hoof Live. We're here, just kicking it with you guys. So, typically, I curate comments, and I have my guys. I'll throw stuff at them and talk about them. But since it's just me tonight, it's kind of like how you guys ever talk to yourself? Like I'm kind of crazy, so I talk to myself all the time. I mean, seriously, all day I could just find myself I laugh at myself, because I personally think I'm hilarious, right? But I laugh at myself. I talk to myself all the time. So this is going to be like me talking to myself tonight. But definitely, if you guys got something to say, man, make sure you leave a comment. Super chats are always welcome. We try to get you guys up there. Michael Mahone, Titans were chippy. Yeah, they were chippy. They play a physical brand of football. That was something that was expected. So it wasn't anything that was, like they've always been a tough football team. And the Bills got beat in the trenches. So we're gonna get into that here shortly, but let's go ahead and start with our first segment of the night. And you guys know we always go to What's Poppin'. What's Poppin' is where we go around the league. We talk about the latest and the greatest, highlights, lowlights, things that are worth mentioning around the NFL. What's poppin'? My topic for the night, one of the things that I wanted to bring up tonight was the fact that the Ravens and the Chargers, prior to this week, leading up to this week, if you were to ask someone who's the best team in the NFL or who was the best team in the AFC, you get conflicting reports. You would hear Buffalo, you would hear the Ravens, and you would hear the Chargers. And this week, the Ravens got the opportunity to host the LA Chargers. And as you can see, the Ravens crushed the Chargers 34-6. The only touchdown the Chargers scored was in the second quarter. I mean, this game was a beatdown from start to finish. Now, you could say, anytime a team travels from the West Coast and going to the East Coast, it's going to present some issues. We see that the time change, and these guys, these players are in a routine, right? And that routine was definitely broken up. Now, it's not to say that this is not something that teams don't normally do, because as you can see, in NFL, you get put in situations where, it's not always ideal, right? But needless to say, that the Chargers felt like, they're one of the best teams in the league. They feel like they're one of the best teams in the AFC. You got a budding young quarterback in Justin Herbert. You got players like Joey Bosa on defense, right? You got Derwin James. So they got some players. They got one of the best left tackles in the league as a rookie, right? Rashawn Slater having a hell of a season. So there's a lot riding into this game. There's a lot of expectation going in this game. I mean, you would assume from the Chargers' perspective. And, you're coming in. Lamar Jackson had one of his best games of his career last week. And you come in this game and you pretty much lay an egg. I mean, 34-6. I mean, it was not pretty, not even close. I mean, the defense for the Ravens just like they choked them out. They pretty much choked out the freaking Chargers, man. It wasn't even close. It is a long season. It's a long season, right? And you never, after a loss, you always want to go back and self-reflect. But some of the highlights here: Lamar Jackson was 19-27, 167 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. That's nothing to write home about. He didn't have that much yards on the ground either, right? They were just, this was just a opportunistic game. It wasn't a lot of turnovers. They just moved the ball, the way they needed to. Justin Herbert, 22-39, 195, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. I mean, 34-6 though. I mean, you got to do better than that. So I would say, I'm not going to count the Chargers out of in terms of representing the AFC in the for the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to beat the Bills, but this early in the season, man, you gotta do better. You got to do better, Chargers. You got to put up a fight. Losing 34-6 to the Ravens, man, they're bullies. The Ravens, they got a good defense, and they got one of the best players in the league, Lamar Jackson, having an MVP caliber season. So that was one of the games I wanted to highlight tonight. But be on the lookout for the Ravens. I think this is one of those teams. We saw them in the playoffs last year. And Bills handled them. They shut down Lamar Jackson. He really had nowhere to go. In terms of throwing the ball, running the ball, they were all over the place. So you want the road to the Super Bowl to go through Buffalo, right? That's why it's important that the Bills win these games that they're supposed to win. Like beating Tennessee, you're supposed to win. You're supposed to win that game, but you want the home field advantage. So as of right now, the Ravens are the best team statistically or from a record standpoint in the AFC. Okay, so they got a game up on the Bills, and they don't play head to head this year. So the Bills are gonna have to. We need the Ravens to lose. We need the Ravens to lose some games. So because we got to get that the road to the Super Bowl has to come through Buffalo and AFC. It just has to. And yes, I am drinking my wine now. You guys know that I drink my wine after a Bills win, but they didn't win, and I'm solo tonight, so I'm definitely gonna drink my wine, and I don't even care. Yes, Lone Wolf. A lot of people calling the Ravens the best team in the AFC. That's for sure. Why says go Bills? What's up? Why? So with that being said, my power rankings. So the past few weeks we've been doing little power rankings. I like to throw this out there for my guys. We kind of talk about who. Maybe it's from a media standpoint or just maybe from our perspective, who the best team is in the league right now. And as we know, our Bills lost last night, and I wasn't even mad about it. I really wasn't even mad about it. Okay. And I'll give you my thoughts on that here in a little bit, but it happens. Those are the games you want to win. But when we go to the power rankings, so I'm going to tell you who my top 5 teams in NFL right now. So at number 5, I think this is a team that people are sleeping on. They got a good quarterback, one of the better quarterbacks in the league. They got a running back who wears a freaking halter top, okay, and it has one of them nose rings. No, I sound like one of those. One of the I'm 38 years old, y'all. Okay, and I look good, right? But I'm from the South, and like when I was a kid, I always would look at my uncles and older guys, and just be like, man, you old. Like they be doing like old head stuff. Like we as kids, we will always make fun of them, like just because of stuff that they do, right? And as I'm getting older, I find myself doing old head shit. Okay. I just do old head stuff, and it just comes out of nowhere. I don't know if you guys are like that. But if you are of the age, I want to say like 35 and up, okay? And don't you find yourself like just doing old people shit? Like, bro, I'll sit there, like when I turned 35, I started having whiskey on the rocks. Now, whatever. Some of you guys, maybe start doing that at 12, but typically I'm a rum and coke kind of guy. Like if I'm going out, I'll definitely hit the rum and coke or whatever. But sometimes, it just like I just want it hard, dog. Just give me that Maker's Mark. Give me that whiskey on the rocks, bro. That's some old head stuff, man. Some old head stuff. But anyways, I say all that to say, man, my number 5 team, we're talking about Ezekiel Elliott's nose piercing. And, I just don't like it on him. He just kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't know. Maybe because he's from Ohio State. Y'all know I hate them Buckeyes. So maybe the bias is coming out, or the hate for Ohio State. Maybe that's coming out. I don't know. But my number 5 team on Sterl's for the Girls power rankings for week 7. The Dallas Cowboys, man. The Dallas Cowboys, I think they have a shot. I think they have a shot to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. You saw them play Tampa Bay really tough game 1. I think they have a good defense that's getting better each week. Micah Parsons probably going to be the NFL Rookie of the Year. You got NFL Defensive MVP on the squad right now, and Trayvon Diggs, 7 interceptions. He took one to the house last week. They're a good team. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb. I mean, they're loaded, man. They got 2 good running backs. Okay, Amari Cooper. I mean, this is a loaded team. Now, I think from a coaching standpoint, I think they need improvement. I'm not a fan of Mike McCarthy, but I'm going to put the Dallas Cowboys at number 5. Number 4, I'm going to say the Arizona Cardinals. They're 6-0, right? So technically, they're the best team in the league because they haven't lost. But I just think they're beatable. I mean, there hasn't been a game where I'm just like, I guess I need more. And no, I'm not referring, I don't dislike them because of the Hail Murray, which was whatever. I think they need to be tested. That, to me, they haven't been tested enough. All right. Yes, Dak Prescott is hurt. But we're going to see. Dak Prescott's one of those guys. Oh, he's going to win NFL Comeback Player of the Year by far. I mean, the Cowboys, for the first time in a long time, the Cowboys are looking like a real team. But back to Arizona. They got J.J. Watt over there. A.J. Green is having a decent season. A lot of people thought that he was washed. And, I mean, in my opinion, he kind of still is. He's nowhere near the player that he once was. But it's really cool to see a guy like that be able to contribute to a team, contribute to a squad. So, but I think Arizona's going to be tested. Luckily for them, they're in a division that is not as good as we all thought it would be. You got Seattle with Russell Wilson being out and their defense being so terrible. And then you got, the Rams. They're going to have to contend with the Rams for that division. So we're going to see how that plays out. But they are my number 4 team. At number 3, we talked about this team a little earlier in the show. The Baltimore Ravens. I think it's between Buffalo and the Ravens. I think that's going to be the AFC Championship game. And as of right now, I think the Bills just have more. They just have more in the shed. But the Ravens, LeBron Jackson's having a really good season. He's having a really good season. He's having an MVP caliber type season. And a lot of the hate, people hate on Lamar. They said, what did they say about him? We said he can't come from behind and bring a team from behind. Well, he's done that. We talk about him passing in the tight windows. He's doing that. So, I mean, I'm all about, when a player being 100 about these players. And Lamar Jackson, hey, he's answering a lot of the criticism this year. So kudos to Lamar Jackson. So they are my number 3 team. And then I'm going to say the Buffalo Bills are number 2, right? The Buffalo Bills, I believe, are number 2 right now, second best in the NFL. Josh Allen, this offense is getting better each week. We took a step back in terms of the run game production yesterday. But overall, you see Josh Allen starting to find his stride. I love the fact that he found Stephon Diggs consistently. Emmanuel Sanders, Cole Beasley got into the picture yesterday, which was really cool. A lot of things we talk about in terms of Bills and why hasn't Cole Beasley outproduced or come close to what he did last year, or Stephon Diggs, man, is because we have a lot of weapons, right? And it's one of those things, whoever has a hot hand. Look at the backfield. Devin Singletary, Zach Moss, both of those guys yesterday, they did not play. The running game was non-existent pretty much. But it's the same way with the wide receivers, man. You got the emergence of Dawson Knox, who broke his hand yesterday. And you got Emmanuel Sanders, who's eating up targets. Cole Beasley and Stephon Diggs, man, they're doing their thing, man. These guys are doing their thing. I would say the only guy that I would, from a standpoint of production, that I would be disappointed in is Gabriel Davis. And I expected Davis to have a bigger impact in this offense, and he just hasn't. I don't know if it's the ankle thing that's still bothering, but he's not really listed on the injury report. I don't know what it is, but I think the Bills are going to have to find a solution at wide receiver next year, for sure. We'll talk about, what I think they need to do in the draft as we get later in the season and we get in the off season. Well, you guys know I hit the draft a lot, but we're second best team in the league. Look, Reptile's already Reptile says, Sterl, sadly, we aren't the second best team in the league at the moment. We have played 2 teams that played us hard-nosed, and our soft underbelly was exposed at both times. To that, I would say, I mean, I get what you're saying, Reptile, but at the same time, it's a long season, man. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but we're seeing a lot of close games this year. Last year, it was real easy to kind of predict who was going to win, who was going to lose. It was just the flavor. It was just the water. I don't know what it was, but like the NFL, I felt like it was more predictable last season. The COVID and all the things that were happening. This year, you're kind of getting more of the brand of football that we're kind of accustomed to. Kind of getting the football that we're accustomed to. So you're seeing a lot of close games, right? And if you don't bring your A game every single weekend, and just so everyone knows, the Bills are now the hunted, right? So last year, we were the hunter. We were the underdog, the Cinderella story. No one believes in the Bills and all that stuff. And that's not the case anymore. The Bills are a household name. Like if you ask somebody who's some of the best teams in the league, if they'd say name the 3 best teams in the league, Buffalo's going to be right there. They're going to be right there. So it's a mindset change when you go from the hunter to the hunted. So one of the things that we see about the Chiefs, everybody's going to give you their best shot every single week, right? So, I mean, there's an expectation that comes with that. Sometimes teams are going to play their best game against you. And last night was, I think that's the best game the Tennessee Titans will play all season. Mark my words. That's the best game you're going to see them play in the entire season. And then if I have to go my best team in the NFL right now, I'm going to say look, don't hate me. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers is the best team in the league right now. Just because they have Brady, the offense is humming on many levels. You know, they got all the pieces necessary. You can never count out Tom Brady as much as we hate that. Have you guys found it easier to root for Tom Brady? That's one of the questions that I want to ask. You know, because we saw him kick our ass for 20 years, right? And you see him down there, living his best life in Tampa. Then they win the Super Bowl last year, and you're like, man, I'm a Michigan guy, so Tom Brady's my dude. I ain't gonna lie, y'all know that. I'm a Michigan guy, so I always root for Michigan alumni. But seeing Tom Brady not beat my team all the time, not beat the Bills all the time, oh yeah, I'm for it. I'm for it. And we're gonna have our say. I still think the Bills could beat Tampa when it comes in the regular season. I still think that. But as of right now, they're the champs. And I think they're playing good. They're trying to figure themselves out on defense in the secondary. They got a lot of injuries, right? But they're finding ways to win. Tom Brady is just he's leading this team. They're 5-1. And Tom Brady's leading this team. Tom Brady is having a hell of a season. I mean, when is this dude gonna look? I either need Tom Brady to die, or I need Tom Brady to fucking go home. Like, can you be done? Like, I love greatness. I love to root for Michael Jordan. I love to root for Kobe Bryant, Shaq, Dirk Nowitzki, hell, Ichiro. I want to see Ichiro, do something with the Mariners, but he never did. God dang Mariners. Never did. They never did anything. But Ichiro was dope. But you root for greatness. So you want to see guys like that, do their thing. But at some point, man, like, can you just fold it up, bro? Like, get out of here, because you're really look. I don't need you impeding on the Bills' chances at a Super Bowl or a Super Bowl win. Okay, so I'm gonna need you to stand down, Tom Brady, and just be done, bro. I can't handle you winning another Super Bowl. I just can't handle. Anytime Belichick loses, I'm good with. What's funny? I know a friend. I got a friend of mine who's a Patriots fan. I know a few Patriots fans, and it's just so, and it's just so sweet. You just see them get their ass handed to them week after week. You got Bill Belichick and his creepy defensive coordinator son. The looks that you see on their face every week is just priceless. They don't want to talk to the media. It's just a great thing, man. It is a great freaking thing. So anyway, that is my power rankings through 7 weeks. Juan says Brady will get his AARP and still be playing, man. I don't know what that dude eats. I mean, that dude just eats greens. Like, I guess I need to do a green diet. Nah, hell no. I like fried chicken too much. I like Chinese food. I ain't doing no green diet. Take me out of 55. I always tell my friends, I'll be like, look, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to let you into Sterling's world. I'm going to tell you how morbid I am sometimes. I'm like, yo, I'm going to die at 55. I just have this affinity. Like, I'm going to die at 55. I don't know why. It's a number that comes in my head. So, I'm 38. I got a good 17 in me. I got a good 17. That's all good. Oh, somebody said in the comments, go blue. Yes, Joe 5A, 1, whatever the hell doing. Yes, go blue. Michigan's having a hell of a season this year. Do you think Aaron Rodgers will stick around like Brady? No. Aaron Rodgers does not he's not one of those guys that I think is going to stick around like Tom Brady. Tom Brady, in terms of like his determination, like I think that guy forgoes like it's like he's so football. I bet that guy forgoes sex with his wife just to watch film. I really do. Giselle, he'd be like, Giselle, leave. Tom Brady is he's different. That dude is different. I don't know, man. Tom Brady's different. That guy will probably play till he's 50. I think Aaron Rodgers would he'd rather host Jeopardy or some shit like that. The Price is Right. I could totally see Aaron Rodgers on The Price is Right. Totally. And he's engaged for the 18th time. We'll see if he actually gets married, but I do not see Aaron Rodgers outplaying or having as many years as Tom Brady. Just not going to happen. I don't think he loves the game as much as Tom does. All right, with that being said, let's go to the inside slant. This is the part of the show where we talk about the Bills, the latest and the greatest in and outside of Buffalo, New York. This is the inside slant. So we see, the Bills lost. Kind of hurt. It hurt a little bit, but it wasn't like painful. Just like, okay. This is a game where, if you're on Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Forward Sterling. By the way, follow Cover One and all of our guys, all of our content creators. But going into this game, we heard the Bills players like Dawson Knox is from Tennessee. I'm from Tennessee. The Bills Mafia just took over Tennessee, took over Nashville, man. So many Bills fans out there. And I ain't gonna lie. I thought the Bills were gonna win. I really thought the Bills were gonna come in and just eliminate the freaking Titans, man. If you look at the matchup wise, from a film perspective, if you look at the matchups, the matchups favored the Bills. The Bills had the advantage from a defensive line to offensive line standpoint in terms of what we could do, to apply pressure on the quarterback. From an offensive standpoint, I felt the Titans have, undisciplined linebackers are not good in pass coverage. So I thought the Bills could exploit the linebackers over the middle of the field. And then they're weak at corner, right? And they got injuries. And they had injuries during the game. Josh Allen threw for 350-something yards, right? But coming to this game, I just felt like, okay, like we're going to make some hay. We're going to get this dub, call it Buffalo South, right? They call it Nash Bills. Dawson Knox call it Nash Bills instead of Nashville, and that was cute. I like that, right? I just thought we were going to win the game. So I'm sitting there watching, man. And let me tell you when it's about to go bad. When David Long Jr. is having the best game of his life, that guy was everywhere on the damn field. David Long Jr. Where did he play college? West Virginia. When he started making tackles out just everywhere, you just know, like, these guys are playing inspired football, right? I don't know if you guys are wrestling fans, but I'm a WWE fan when I was a kid, right? And you know how you see a guy like the favorite, he like Hulk Hogan, and I was a big Bret Hart fan. So, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, in the beginning, they always used to kind of like make it like you kind of knew who was going to win, but they were kind of making like, Shawn Michaels just killing Bret Hart the whole fight. And all of a sudden, Bret Hart started getting inspired, kind of looked like the Ultimate War. You know how the Ultimate War was just like cracked out all the time, just energy all day, right? And all of a sudden, then they just do their finishing move and the match was over. That's the kind of energy I felt like Tennessee had. Like they played inspired football, man. They played inspired football. It goes from you being the hunter to the hunted, and the Bills are the hunted. You are going to see teams play the Bills the best they've ever played. You're just going to see that. So, Tennessee gets a win. They get a dub, 34-31. It is what it is. We're going to talk about some of the things I like in the game, some of the things I didn't like in the game. Here's one of the overarching things that we'll go to tonight. Dawson Knox broke a bone in his hand, according to Mike Garafolo. Timeline to be determined, but the hope is he won't miss much time, especially with the bye. Knox threw a 2-point conversion after the injury. Josh Allen, who tried to call it off, but was denied by Knox, and that's why we love him, end quote. that was dope to see. I mean, we didn't know that during the game, but Dawson Knox with a broken hand, right hand, throws a little 2-point conversion to Josh Allen, man. I mean, this team is just such a family. It's pretty dope to see, man. It's pretty dope to see. But Dawson Knox, we don't know the timetable on a broken hand. I don't know. I mean, he's a tight end, so he kind of needs his hands to catch the ball. So I don't know what the timetable is. I don't know the severity. Good thing we do have a bye, so that's going to afford him an extra week. But when you look at the schedule, and it's like you play Miami. Miami is a 1-win team. Jacksonville's a 1-win team after the bye, and the Jets are a 1-win team. Indy is a 2-win team. So, like, Dawson Knox has time to get better, right? I mean, I think we can afford, one of the solutions I'd say would maybe this is where Gabe Davis can line up in a slot or line up kind of in a tight end role where he can get more involved in the offense. Maybe this would be a time for Gabe Davis to shine. We saw Tommy Sweeney catch a touchdown pass last night. Let's see what he can do. Now, Lone Wolf says, Bret Hart was my favorite wrestler. He was mine too, man. Bret Hart was my dude. James says, I broke my hand and back in business after 2 to 3 weeks. Whoa. I broke my hand and back in business after 2 to 3 weeks. Damn. What were you doing, bro? Tell us what you were doing. Or maybe not. Maybe not tell us what you were doing. I don't know. I don't want to know. John Herring says, what's up, peeps? What's up, John? Knoxville. Yes, indeed. So, maybe the timetable is 2 to 5 weeks. I don't know. But my whole point of saying that is we can afford to not have Dawson Knox for a month or so, I would say, just because of the opponents we have coming up. Now, I was asked in the DM, a few DMs on Twitter, would Dawson Knox is injured, what would you do? So my answer was like, I had to think about it for a minute. Like, yeah, like Gabe Davis gets an opportunity. Tommy Sweeney can get an opportunity. Like I said, based on the schedule, Bills, I don't feel like the Bills are in need of having to have Dawson Knox on the field. I mean, they can afford to let him rest up. From a trade perspective, though, I was thinking, okay, who could the Bills acquire that would like make me interested, right? And I keep coming back to this name, Evan Ingram. Now, Evan Ingram's a guy that this is not working for. I mean, maybe he needs a change of scenery. Maybe it's his dedication to the game. I don't know. But I always felt like, an intriguing name, a tight end name. We saw Zach Ertz get, he got taken away. The Eagles traded him last week to the Arizona Cardinals. Okay. But I always felt like Evan Ingram could be as an intriguing idea. And maybe it probably won't happen. It probably won't happen. But I feel like he'd be a really good addition to this offense. And what could a guy like Evan Ingram be had for? I mean, I say they could part ways with him for a 5th or 6th round pick. Brandon Bean, you can afford a 5th or 6th round pick for Evan Ingram. I mean, I think he gives you athletic upside. He's one of those guys. He's inconsistent. His hands need work. But Dawson Knox's hands needed work, and look what he's done. So maybe I think a lot of times, players get in these situations, and it's just not a fit. How many head coaches has Evan Ingram had since he's been in the league? 3, maybe? That's too many, man. He's a young player. He's still on his rookie contract. Maybe, have you guys also noticed this, that players that come to Buffalo usually have their best years in Buffalo? Under Sean McDermott, Brandon Bean. We talk about it being the best version of yourself, right? So I think, an intriguing name probably won't happen. But if I'm Brandon Bean, I'd knock on the Giants' door. I said, hey, what can I get for Evan Ingram? I'm not parting away with a third or a fourth round pick. But a fifth round pick and up, oh yeah, all day. Evan Ingram would be a nice addition. Probably won't happen. Let's also we're gonna talk about Josh Allen real quick. Let me throw this up here. Most combined touchdowns between passing and rushing. Look at that now. Look at that. Look at Josh Allen go. He's got 109 touchdowns passing and rushing through a quarterback's first 50 games of his career. That's amazing. He trails Deshaun Watson with 112, Dan Marino 116, and Patrick Mahomes 135. Freaking Josh Allen, man. Way to go, Josh Allen. Kudos to you. Josh Allen's a generational talent. I'm sorry. 6'5", 6'6", 240 pounds. Can run, can pass. That boy cold. That boy good. Josh Allen is good. Thank God he's a Buffalo Bill. Some other things, right? So watching this game, one of the things that I felt like the Bills, they failed. They missed the mark. They missed the mark on this. Was in the trenches. I think as Bills fans, we're learning this year that the game is won in the trenches. It's won in the trenches. Like that's applicable to Buffalo this year. Like you see the Bills dominate typically offensive line, defensive line. Now, week 1, offensive line got worked. Week 6, the offensive line got worked. Jeffrey Simmons, Harold Landry, these guys, they wrecked us. I ain't gonna lie. They wrecked us. We lost the game in the trenches. From a defensive standpoint, this is the pressure rate, right? So we're looking at this here, and these are the grades and total pressures. This is from PFF. Ed Oliver, Jerry Hughes, 3 pressures. Mario Addison with 2, and you see, a few ones here. Russo, Phillips, Milano, Latulele, right? The Titans they gave up up until this week 20 sacks. They gave up 20 sacks all year last year. And the Bills could not get 1 sack on Ryan Tannehill. We could not get consistent pressure on Ryan freaking Tannehill. Taylor Lewan missed half the game. You mean to tell me that you could not get pressure on freaking Ryan Tannehill? I'll wait, man. I'll wait. It's frustrating. Look, I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. I am cool with calling, saying what the Bills do well. I'm cool with it. But damn it, when you suck, you suck. Let's just call it what it is. I felt like the offensive line sucked last night. I'll give a pass. Let me give a pass, though. After I watched the game 2 more times since last night, I would say Darrell Williams was probably the most consistent lineman we had last night at right guard. Deion Dawkins, now outside of the play, when Jeffrey Simmons blew his ass up, I would probably say Dawkins was probably the best in pass protection. I would say run blocking, him and Darrell Williams were kind of equal. Y'all know what I feel about Feliciano. I think he's below average starter. I'm sorry. I think they could do better than Feliciano. And I wasn't a fan of bringing him back. Was not a fan of bringing Feliciano back. Cody Ford, he done. He ain't it. Hey, man. Left guard is a problem. It's a problem. Not in a good way. It's a problem. So, you know, Feliciano wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good either. Mitch Morse in run blocking, man. Whew. Rich Morse has probably been one of the best linemen we've had this year. But last night in run blocking, getting to the second level, winning with leverage and power, nope, not it. He did not have a good game last night, folks. Yeah, John Herring, Darrell Williams got trucked to some plays, but there's also a lot of plays. I mean, you talk about pass protection. Darrell Williams is good. He was good in pass protection last night. He was good. Yeah, he lost some reps. They all lost some reps. I mean, pick your guy. I mean, there was not a perfect game, and I'm not saying they played excellent. They played good, decent. Those two, Williams and Deion Dawkins. But no, they got whooped on some reps. It wasn't their best game. This was their second worst game. So out of 6 weeks, they got their ass handed to them in Pittsburgh. Last night, wasn't that great. We lost the game because we couldn't get it done from an offensive line standpoint. That's one area. Okay. Spencer Brown was a rookie last night. Now, Spencer Brown has been balling his ass off. I mean, I love Spencer Brown as the prospect. Love Spencer Brown, the offensive tackle. I love that he comes out there. He talks his shit all the time, every day, all day. Love it. But last night, was not consistent. His technique was not good last night. He did not look good last night. Spencer Brown got worked last night. And that's okay. You're going to see that from rookies. You're going to see that from offensive line. You know, I think it's time. That the Bills invest in the interior of their offensive line now. In the offseason, whether you go get a veteran free agent for left guard, because I think Darrell Williams is going to be okay. I think Mitch Morse you can win with at center. But left guard and a backup center, can we get a real guy? Can we draft a real guy so we don't have this BS no more? Because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing Feliciano walk his ass out there and get worked. The offensive line, they got to do better. Now, Jeffrey Simmons is a freaking handful. He is a beast. He is one of the top 5 interior defensive linemen in the league. He's a beast. So I get it. Like the 4th and 1 play, we'll talk about that later, but I get it. Man, he's a good player. He won that rep. We see guys that use power. The Bills have issues with guys that have power. Cameron Hayward is a guy that uses a lot of power. They have a problem. A lot of offensive linemen have issues with guys that are bull rush, power rush guys. But you gotta win. You gotta win some of those reps, man, when it counts. And the Bills didn't do it. Now, again, the hunter to the hunted. That's what we go. That's what we come back to. The hunter to the hunted, and the Bills are the hunted. So you see guys like Jeffrey Simmons and Harold Landry play hell of a games. Now, Jeffrey Simmons and Harold Landry is like leads the league in pressures. Like the guy is consistently in the backfield. He's consistently in the backfield. He is a fast, bendy edge rusher. And it looks like he's improved on his pass rush moves, having counters and so forth. Kudos to Harold Landry out of Boston College. He's improved. I think Matt Milano's old teammate. He's improved. Give him his props. But can we get better in the interior offensive line, Brandon Beane? And I'm not criticizing Brandon Beane like he sucks as a GM. I think he's one of the best GMs in the league. But we need some help in the interior. Tyler Linderbaum, Iowa, will be a great addition in round 1. Y'all to check him out. He's a handful. He's dope. He's dope. He is dope. He is dope. I would love him to be a guard or center, but that doesn't help us right now. And I think if the Bills are going to improve in the run game, they got to fix the offensive line. Let's go to the comments here. Yeah, we need to use high draft picks on the offensive line and the interior. I agree with that. That's something that I think that they're going to look into this year. Hey, can we talk about Epinesa and Basham? Why were they inactive? These guys have been playing. Epinesa and Basham have been playing considerably well. They've improved. You got 2 second-round picks that are inactive. Now, I'll give Brandon Beane credit here, where sometimes he's playing chess while we're playing checkers. I mean, he gets paid millions of dollars to be a hell of a GM, to think about these moves, right? And I don't know, so I'm sitting here thinking today, like, why would Epinesa and Basham, they've been playing well lately. Like, why would you sit them for Andre Smith, who had 2 penalties on special teams? It just killed us, bro. 1, you negated the touchdown because you held for no damn reason. It's cool, whatever. Bills had their opportunity, didn't get it. But why? Like, I felt like we should address those 2 guys. They should have played. So I'm thinking, okay, why? Now, a couple weeks ago, in NFL circles, you hear rumors of teams are calling the Buffalo Bills because, teams that need defensive line help, the Bills have a really deep defensive line room, right? Defensive tackle, defensive ends. So I'm sitting there thinking today, I'm like, okay, who are the guys that, if I'm Brandon Beane, who's expendable from a defensive line standpoint? I got a few names for you. Harrison Phillips, Mario Addison, Vernon Butler. Vernon Butler hasn't played, but Harrison Phillips is back. Mario Addison's been there. If there are 3 guys on the defensive line that could be moved come trade deadline, those are your guys. Phillips, Addison, Butler. I think you got to make it. Look, 9 defensive linemen consistently play. Your defensive line is so deep. You got one of the best defenses in the league. Why not get guys? Because you're going to have to get rid of some of these guys at the end of the season. Get rid of them now. We don't need them. We don't need Harrison Phillips. Sorry. I look, I know his parents are great. He's awesome. Good locker room guy, good community guy. But we don't need him. We don't need him. Get rid of him. Trade his butt. Give me some things in here. You either bolster the NFL draft, that we get more picks, or get more picks to trade up, or however, right? Or give me a player that can contribute to us winning the Super Bowl. So that's what I want to see the Bills do in the next couple weeks. Automari says, do you think Tommy Doyle will be able to play guard spot? Or do you think they'll continue to mold him to a tackle since that's where he played in college? Good question. I would say Tommy Doyle as a tackle. He didn't play much guard at all in college. He's a tackle. I know the Bills do like their offensive lineman with some versatility to play multiple positions. But Tommy Doyle is one of those guys. He just needs to develop more. This is a redshirt year for him. So let's see. I mean, I think they're gonna play him at tackle, and I think he's gonna be a swing tackle at best. I don't think he's gonna have a starting role. He's gonna be a backup guy. But you need a good backup swing tackle. So I mean, it's an important role. The Bills do need that, but I think it's up to Tommy Doyle, what he does, what his development is. I don't think Obata gets traded. I think the Bills they'll keep Obata. Obata's showing he's showing he's showing more consistency, right? Hey, Jay Spence is my brother. That's my dude. Jay Spence ain't here tonight though. Yeah, this is Sterling. I don't know where he's talking about Jay Spence on one. All right. But anyways, moving right along here. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the prospects of Tommy Doyle. Let's see what he does. But I think he's a developmental prospect. I think his role is a swing tackle. I don't think he's starting material. I mean, unless he really develops, but I don't see his ceiling being that high. I love his size. Limited athlete, though. Limited athlete. One of the things I'd like to see with Josh Allen's growth in zone coverage. We saw the Tennessee Titans do what the Pittsburgh Steelers tried to do. Rush 3, drop 8. Josh Allen wasn't pressing too much. Now, somebody mentioned in the second to last drive, Josh Allen was pressing on that drive. He was pressing. But you saw him have answers for that coverage. He was getting the ball out quick. And that's what you want to see. So when you rush 3, drop 8, you want to get the ball out quick, right? You don't want the defensive backs or the defense to be able to sit and jump on routes. Our whole idea is to kind of put a blanket. You see quarters coverage, right? So you saw Josh Allen recognize that, and you also saw him make adjustments at the line of scrimmage. That's one of the things that, like, as fans, you don't really see, right? The what goes on between the ears and the mind. Josh Allen is growing. He's getting better and better in terms of making these pre-snap adjustments. They're giving him more freedom in his offense to change and change plays and put the Bills in the right play call. Those are the kind of things you want to see from a young quarterback. Josh Allen, man, you guys got to be excited about him. Those are the things that you don't see in a stat sheet. Josh Allen getting you out of bad plays based on the coverage and checking into a good play. Josh Allen's smart as hell, man. He's a damn good quarterback. He's smart. But we got to see Josh Allen in zone coverage. So in that zone coverage, you want to hit the seams. The outsides are, those are advantageous. So we saw Diggs get some work last night on the outside, right? That was great. So whereas in week 1, he didn't look as good against that kind of coverage, but we saw that you could tell that was something that they've been working on, something that they knew Tennessee was going to try to do. And even though we lost the game, but Josh Allen in the offense, statistically, they played really good from a yardage standpoint, moving the ball up and down the field. They did that. Yeah, second last drive, he was pressing. He took an awful sack, right? He took an awful sack. But Josh Allen improving in zone coverage, against zone coverage. That was great to see. Now, here's one that I want to talk to you guys about. The 4th and 1, okay? Now, before that, though, the whole Derrick Henry, he 22 rushes, 100 and something yards, 140 something yards. That's a damn hold. I don't care how you slice that, man. This is Derrick Henry's 76-yard run. Look at that, bro. Look at that. NFL officiating, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, man. Look at 15 here. Look at that hold. He is like a Care Bear. He is hugging the shit out of him. He is hugging that man. Like, come on, dog. And they don't even call it. It's like the NFL, they just want to see this man. They just want to see Derrick Henry eat. Now, Rousseau, he should have did better on this play. Rousseau, I mean, come on, man. He shouldn't have got that. He shouldn't have got that in the first place. But that's clearly a hold. Now they say, oh, you could call hold on every play if you want to. That's a hold. That's a freaking hold. I'm sorry. But that shouldn't have counted. Sorry. It should not have counted. Should not have counted. I ain't feeling it, y'all. I ain't feeling it. I was pissed. I was pissed at that point. I was pissed at that. So anyway, the red zone rules. So let's talk about the Bills in the red zone. This is, you took your first two drives. You took it down, man. You drove the ball down the field. You got in the red zone. And this has been a problem with the Bills all season long. All season long. Bills in the red zone, they score touchdowns on 58% of the time. That's not good enough. The red zone offense is ranked 26th in the NFL right now. There's 32 teams in the NFL. The Bills are ranked 26 in red zone touchdowns. That's not good enough. Tyler Bass has 10 field goals in the red zone, ranked number 1 in the league. Tyler Bass having a great year. But I don't want to see Tyler Bass kick field goals in the red zone. The Bills were amazing in the red zone last year. Why are we so terrible this year? Look at the splits. 37 runs, 39 passes. So it's balanced. The Bills have had 24 red zone drives. But we're not getting touchdowns, man. Not in the red zone. This is an offense that's third in the league in points per play. Third in points per play. If you look at the Bills from quarter to quarter, in the first quarter, they're third in points in the first quarter. In the second quarter, they're second in the league. Points in the second quarter. In the third quarter, they're ninth in the league. And then in the fourth quarter, there's a 4-team log jam at number 5. Okay. So you could say the Bills are 5th, or you could say the Bills are 9th at points in the fourth quarter. The Bills got to do better in the red zone, man. They got to do better. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. So I equate that to play calling. Like, they're going to have to find solutions, find answers. They're going to have to. I think part of it is you don't have a big physical wide receiver in the red zone. They need that. That would be great. That would be great to have a guy that consistently get you tough yardage in the red zone. That would be great. They don't have that right now. Stephon Diggs, these guys are route runners. Now, Diggs was more physical, at the end of his routes and stems, right? He's a physical wide receiver in that regard. But the Bills could use a 6'3", 6'4" wide receiver that like a AJ Brown or Julio Jones type that can win in the red zone. They need that. That'd be great. If y'all don't think so, man, watch the film. But they need that. Tommy Sweeney ain't that. From a route running perspective, Tommy Sweeney ain't got that. The run game was terrible last night, by the way. Devin Singletary, 5 rushes, 27 yards. I mean, the Bills had more running plays than the Tennessee Titans last night, 23-22. Huh? Didn't get it done. The run game was not good last night. I equate to the offensive line all day on that. Zach Moss had 8 carries, 24 yards. Josh Allen, 9 carries, 26 yards. For those of you out there who say the Bills don't need a running back, you do need a running back. We do. These guys are decent running backs. They're backup running backs. Singletary and Moss are backup running backs. They're backup caliber running backs. Sorry. It's facts. It's facts. So back to this. Red zone woes we just talked about. Now, I want to know what you guys think about the 4th and 1 call. Because there's two trains of thoughts here. Okay? I'm going to give you what I think. But let's talk about the two ideas, right? One. Okay. The Bills, McDermott wants to trust his guys, right? And I'm cool with trusting your guys. Like, Josh Allen's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Like, 4th and 1, give it to him, right? But also, you do have to consider your offensive line is playing like shit last night. And Jeffrey Simmons just won. He won that rep. He blew it up. And there's conflicting, ideas in the media today. He blew it up. Look at this. That's Josh Allen right there. Look at the leverage. Look at the angle, Deion Dawkins. No. Baby, no. That's not going to cut it. And what does Josh Allen do right here? Why? I just don't understand. Why is he going to the left behind Feliciano? Where if you look to the right here, he's got Morse and Williams winning their reps right here. He goes to the left to one of the best interior defense linemen in the league. That's not a good call, Josh Allen. You should just went straight up the center. Straight up the center's ass on that. But you went to the left. I don't understand why he went to the left. Jeffrey Simmons blew up Deion Dawkins. He blew him up. What is Felicity? Man, come on, man. Didn't work. Did not work. But I'm okay with the call. Now, there's another train of thought where you say you kick the field goal, but then do you really want to give it to Derrick Henry? Because the Bills have shown last night they could not stop Derrick Henry. And the play action pass, god dang, man. They were so focused on Derrick Henry. They were killing us over the middle. I was so irritated watching Tannehill dink and dunk us over the middle all fucking game. I was so tired of watching that, man. So tired of watching it. Matt Milano back. He played his worst game of the season. He did. Matt Milano was not great last night. He was not great. Matt Milano's been the defensive MVP this year. And I know he's coming hammy. He got a little hammy. Hey, he wasn't it last night. That's okay. I'll give you a break on that, bro. Give you a break on that. But yeah, I'd put Josh Allen in position 10 out of 10 times, man. I mean, that's 1 yard. And it wasn't even a full yard. I expect Josh Allen to get that. But it's one of those things, man, you're on the road. Like, some things just weren't going your way. They're playing Aspire football, the Titans were. I give them that, man. Give them that. That's the best game they're going to play all year. Are they better than the Bills? Hell no. They're not even close. Roster standpoint, roster construction, not even close. But this is the NFL. Offensive line, defensive line didn't show up. They didn't show up. Sorry, man. I'm sorry. I appreciate the love, Jay. Jay says, Sterles, can we get you to do a solo show? Hey, man, it's it's an idea that I have that's coming next offseason. I'm going to be doing my own. I will always do the Hoof stuff, but I will be doing my own show too. Like, I just will be. So, yeah, that's something that we're talking about here, Cover One. I'm definitely going to be doing that. But Yeah, Josh Allen, man, you should have just went straight up the middle. I don't understand why he went to the side, to the left, but he's shown a propensity to do that. You know, look in the Steelers game. You see some other games. Well, I guess the Houston, Texas, where he just kind of took off on the left side. So he's kind of felt comfortable doing that. So I'm not mad at Josh Allen at all. Like 9 out of 10 times, man, he's gonna get that. 13 out of 14, fourth and 1. He's money. He's money. Last night, Simmons just won the rep. That was a better defensive play. Dawkins got blew up, dog. Deion Dawkins got blew up. Got blown up. I don't know, man. Hey, Watts says drug test some Titans. Hey, y'all seen Dave Chappelle? That dude's on PCP. Hey, one of them dudes on PCP. If Jeffrey Simmons is on PCP, then that's every week because he looks like that every week. He's killing everybody. But some of these cats on the offensive line, they handled us. The Tennessee Titans offensive line without Taylor Lewan handled us. And I'm just like, man, that's not okay. That's not okay. It's not okay. Also, so going back to it, I'm asking you guys, would you have kicked the field goal on 4th and 1? Part of me, man, part of me is like, part of me, not all of me. 45% of me says, I see the logic and the reason to kicking a field goal. Because, I mean, you've shown Derrick Henry, he gets better as the game progresses. And that was true from a statistical standpoint. He was better in the second half. You couldn't stop him. So you're going, let's say you kick the field goal, you go in overtime. You better hope the freaking God that you get the ball first and score a touchdown. Now, the Bills they're not good in the red zone. Right? So I get it. But Sean McDermott said this after the game. He says, I got Josh Allen. I believe in my players. So I understand why. But also, you gotta read the room too. And you have not been winning reps from an offensive line standpoint all game, man. You got to read the room. I'm all about giving Josh Allen that every time. But at the same time, man, you got to read the room. You have not been consistently winning from an offensive line standpoint. Now, it's one of those things where I'm going to believe in my guys. They're just going to get it done. You know, it could go one of two ways. You know, you could look at it like, I believe in my guys. They're just going to get it done, and it's something we're going to build on, a confidence thing. Or it's one of those things, okay, we're one of the best teams in the league. Don't believe the hype. You still got work to do, right? It's one of those things where, so I can see both sides, right? It's a chip on your shoulder. Man, but I bet you money. John Feliciano is not on the Bills next year. I'm telling you right now, it's not happening. The defense didn't do nothing. Look, they were too concerned about Derrick Henry, man. The Bills playing nickel defense. And Tremaine Edmonds, oh my God. Tremaine Edmonds is that dude. All the hate and the slander that Tremaine Edmonds gets that's unwarranted. The fact that he was able to stick Derrick Henry on multiple occasions last night by himself. Derrick Henry, 6'3", 240 pounds. Oh, yes. 21.8 miles per hour on this touchdown run. That's fast as hell. 6'3", 240, 21.8 miles per hour. Tremaine Edmonds is big as hell, too. 6'5", 240 pounds. And he stuck Derrick Henry a few times. I love it. Hey, put some respect on Tremaine Edmonds' name, man. Y'all better put some respect on my boy Tremaine Edmonds' name. I'm gonna need some more 19 crimes for that one. Y'all better put some respect on my guy's name, because he was nasty. That boy was nasty last night. I loved 3 weeks in a row. Tremaine Edmonds has been balling his ass out. 3 games in a row. Let's put some respect on his name. Can we stop all the hate, the Tremaine Edmonds hate? As my boy Jay Smith, the king, He says the body count. If you see something, say something. Tremaine Edmonds is balling out, man. And if you haven't watched Eric Turner's for Cover One, our guy, he does a breakdown on Tremaine Edmonds, man. Y'all better go watch it. Go watch it because it's dope. It's freaking dope. Tremaine Edmonds is playing his ass off. He's having an all-pro season, if you ask me. I'm just saying. Tackling's an issue. Tackling has always been an issue under Sean McDermott. I'm glad it's a bye week. They can go in and take a look at things and get better. Okay? So, there we have it, folks. The Bills got some work to do. Let's get healthy. Let's all the nicks and bruises. It's a great time for a bye week. We're 4-2. That's not bad. We're one game out of the AFC lead, man. The Bills are going to be okay. I really do think that this team is one of the best teams in the league. They're gonna be fine. You're gonna lose games like this. You're just gonna. You had one of the best games of the season last year against the Kansas City Chiefs. You needed that one more than you needed this one. I'd rather beat the Chiefs than beat the Titans. If you play the Titans 10 times, the Bills win 9 out of 10 times. They just played one of those games. Those inspired Ultimate Warrior games, man. They just did. They're cracked out. They're like high. They're like all PCP'd out. I don't know what you want to call it these days, but they were just that. They played an inspired game. They played an inspired football. And I'm not going to take anything away from them, but the Bills are a better team. There's no question. No question. All right. So with that being said, we're not going to have, like we have our preview show and so forth. We're not going to do that this week because there's no game. And I want to make sure you guys know about Underdog Fantasy. It says, Underdog Fantasy is the best place to play fantasy sports, including best ball, daily drafts, and pick 'em. You can start drafting in minutes for your shot at big cash prizes. Man, check out Underdog Fantasy, please. Can y'all do that? And if you use the code COVER1, they'll match up to $10 on your first deposit. It's a no-brainer. No-brainer. So, I don't know if you guys are any mathematicians out there. So, if you put $20 in, you're going to have 30 total, okay? Because they're going to give you $10. It's not that hard. If you're trying to get your girl a Balenciaga, try Underdog Fantasy, bro. Try it. You might win some dough. I'm going to help you guys win some dough right now, though. So, y'all already know. My guy, Anthony Romo. Ooh, Anthony Romeo. Not Anthony Romo. Romeo, the suit guy. He does his 5 for 5, okay? Now, we got some guys on Cover One that's getting it, all right? Tally Site, if you guys go to tallysite.com, they all of our picks for the week are there. Okay, I'm going to do my 5 for 5, okay? Now, this is a segment that the Anthony Romeo does for us every week. So I'm going to give you guys my 5 for 5, all right? If you're of the betting type and you want to get your girl a Balenciaga, you want to get your girl some wings, or you want to take her to Target, baby, I'm going to tell you how you could do that. Where you can invest $10, $5, $20, and come up with a bag. I'm going to tell you how to do that right now. So, 5 for 5. Are y'all ready for this? Here we go. Denver versus the Cleveland Browns. The spread on that is 3.5. Cleveland. Take Denver with the under. 3.5. Let me tell you why. Baker Mayfield's got a bum shoulder. Kareem Hunt, out. He ain't going to be back for a while. Nick Chubb is out. We know that Cleveland relies heavily on the run game. I think Teddy Bridgewater and Denver Broncos can cover the spread on that. 3.5. Washington football team and Green Bay Packers. Look, that's a 9.5-point spread. So what they're saying is the Packers are going to beat the Washington football team by 9.5 points. And we talked about earlier in the show that we're seeing a lot of the point score margins be very close. Take Washington football team on that. Take Washington football team. Green Bay came and beat the Bengals last week on the road. Big win. Washington football team 9.5, man. I'll take that. The Bears versus the Bucks. Bears played the Bucks tough last year. The spread is 12.5. That means that Tampa Bay will have to win by 2 touchdowns or more. 12.5 points. Take the Bears. Justin Fields, man. I would take the Bears. Chiefs and Titans, 5.5 points. Now, typically, when a team wins the best, when they get the best win that they're going to get all season, Tennessee Titans, you kind of see a dip. Bills coming into the Titans week. We lost. We beat the Chiefs. That's a statement win for us. There's usually a down week. Now, but the Chiefs can't cover shit. They can't play any defense. Derrick Henry, look, man. 5.5 is a spread. Give me the Titans. I don't think the Titans will win, but I think the Titans can keep it close. Because the Chiefs can't play defense. They can't play defense at all. They're trash on defense, man. They're trash. All right. And then the Lions and the Rams. Guess what the spread is on this one? 15.5 points. So what Vegas is telling you that the Rams are favored to win by 15.5 points. That is the second largest spread of the season so far. The Bills had the 17 points against the Houston Texans, and they beat them. They destroyed them. They destroyed them. So you're gonna take the Lions on that. Now, Jared Goff. This is the team that traded Jared Goff to the Lions. He's gonna have a little chip on his shoulder, man. I think he's gonna play inspired football. So, my 5 for 5 in honor of Anthony Romeo, who is not here tonight. You're gonna take the Denver Broncos at 3.5. You're gonna take the Washington football team at 9.5. You're gonna take the Chicago Bears at 12.5. You're gonna take the Tennessee Titans at 5.5, and you're gonna take the Lions at 15.5 points. You do that, listen. I'm telling y'all right now, you're gonna get your girl a bag. You yourself are gonna secure the bag. Go get her some wings. Look, Thomas Burke, man. Thomas Burke. He says, Sterling's 19 crimes, 5-teamer special. Book it. I'm telling y'all right now. Look, bro. This show is not sponsored by 19 crimes, but shit, as much as I drink it, it might as well be. Look, I don't care what y'all say. This shit is so good. 19 crimes is the business, y'all. It's good. It's a good wine. Try it if you haven't tried it. That's some old head shit. Or maybe it's some like middle-aged white woman shit. You just drink wine. Just drink a bottle of wine. But anyway, man, with that being said, there's not much else that we're going to talk about in terms of X's and O's. We're done with that. I want to make sure you guys, our jersey giveaway is still ongoing, okay? If you submit your questions to thehooflive@gmail.com, you will enter to win a Buffalo Bills jersey this season. Compliments of the Hoof podcast, all right? So be sure that you guys ask away, all right? Thehooflive@gmail.com, man. Danielle Lefevre, she won our jersey, so we are sending her a jersey that's en route. All right. And like I said, this is because you guys are so freaking awesome. You guys are so freaking awesome, and you guys support us. This is the least we could do. So let me up your swag game. All I need you to do is send us an email at thehooflive@gmail.com. A question. We just want to get to know you, the fans. So please do that. If you want to enter your chance, every 4 weeks, we're going to be giving away a jersey. Every 4 weeks. So by all means, make sure you do that. Make sure you do that. Yeah, Spencer Brown, Ronald Ringler. Spencer Brown did look like a rookie last night, and we talked about that earlier in the show. But Lone Wolf says, give us that name with the guarantee. It's going to happen. That's my 5 for 5. It's going to happen. But, hey, keep it locked and loaded here on the Cover One Network. The Hoof Live. This is the Hoof Live, man. And I appreciate you guys for hanging out tonight. I appreciate you guys for watching the show. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to the show. It helps the YouTube algorithm. We are on all social media platforms. You can find us there. This is the Hoof Live. And I just want to say, man, on your bye week, you ain't got nothing to do. Hey, man, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. This is the perfect time, fellas. You got a wife, take her out, take her on a date. Take her on a date, man. Sunday, do some honeydews, man. For those of you single guys, find one to plug, bro. Find you one, dog. Get you one in. All right. But thank you guys so much for supporting us, man. Without this, we could not do what we do. We appreciate it. My name is Sterls, and I'm out of here. And I want to say, go Bills. Peace.